So hello Jijis, this is Team Astronauts in the Ocean, and today I, Varun, will walk you through my team's project for SIH 2025. The problem statement we chose was SIH 25250, and the problem statement was stated as of a need of a tool which solves the low productivity level issue in government offices and benchmarks their progress in real-time basis. So to solve this issue, we presented a solution, RISE, a real-time scoring and evaluation system. So let's understand all of this using our custom design flowchart and get to know how we made things done here. So let's get started with the solution first, like what we bring on the table. So firstly, we are bringing role based KPIs, like there will be a set of KPIs and number of KPIs that are going to judge a person's performance from day 1 to the end of the year itself, and it's going to be updated real time. So we have measurable metrics, and we have a balanced scoring model so that nobody gets left behind and everyone gets a fair score. Then we have real time dashboards, which includes tracking tasks or keeping check of lists and the calendar, everything, so that the employee itself is updated with every other step which is happening in the office and nobody gets left out. Now the thing is, there should be transparency and there should be employee ownership, and we have kept a focus on these two parts also, because that's what makes an office and closed environment work successfully. And last but not the least, we have worked on resource allocation also, like how we're going to allocate resources. Of course, this is going to vary from company to company, and this can be easily edited, as we have made a software really easy to be edited. And now getting towards how it works, we have performance planning and continuous capturing of data. Now the thing is, we have set very clear KPIs which do not intersect with each other in case of workload, and they generally have their very own specific purpose, which makes the overall score very much accurate in terms of performance. So as we have set clear KPIs for each role, and we communicate the expectations of the boss to the employees itself, like what I as a manager or I as a head of company is asking from the person to do. And the continuous capturing of data and real time data analysis has made this thing really real time accurate. And then we're monitoring the performance and providing feedback constantly so that the person can improve from year to year. What we saw with the old APA system was that after a year, the person used to get a report of what he has done, so he had no time to improve, he had no room to improve. We're trying to tackle that thing, and for that this solution makes really sense. And last but not the least, we have our analysis and action, like we analyze and generate reports to suggest and suggest and support decisions and improve processes. And it must feel like okay, this is an office running thing and everything is getting managed very easily from both the employees level to the managers level. Things get really easily sorted out, and that's what our solution does effortlessly. Now let's move towards what's the moat, what's the thing that you bring on the table that other solutions can't. So let's move towards it. Basically, what we don't bring something which is really extraordinary, really new, or which has never been done before. But what we do very carefully is that the KPIs that we have set and the model we have made is so much accurate, but at the same time so much focuses on other factors also, that it's for a real case situation it's really good and really accurate. So the smart resource use and anomaly detection, targeted training, smart dashboards, and comprehensive feedback, these are the five modes which make our solution stand out and build really strong. So let's move towards the fun part, the technical approach part, like how we're going to make things do and how we are going to implement it. So firstly, there's going to be a login mode. Of course, as it's a closed office system, the login info is going to be provided by the company itself or the organization itself. And then the person, as he has his login and ID, he's going to do his login. And in the meantime, in our database, what going to happen is that we're going to fetch, like if I may show you this employee part, like if he's a field employee or a normal employee, manager or head of staff. Now the thing is, a normal employee, a manager or a head of staff, they come under the headquarters, and the field employee comes under the on-field staff, which is clearly distinguished. In case of the problem statement also, we have analyzed the problem statement, and we've really found this out very early. And the best part is, each of them have different KPIs, both at a personal field level, like a manager himself has some personal KPIs, but at the same time there is a big differentiation between the headquarters and on-field staff KPIs, as both of their work is really different when it comes to running an organization. Now all of this data of all these employees getting stored and divided into the database, and next up, after the login, you're going to get redirected to a personal dashboard firstly. and then you would have the option to switch to a team dashboard. We'll get on to it later, but firstly we'll understand how we are going to manage things firstly. So firstly there's going to be a task portal, and there's going to be task lists and task statuses, like okay, these are the tasks that I have on a personal level. There's going to be have timer, and there is going to have like, are you overdue on this task, what's the priority level of this task. There are some details to it which the manager is going to set, and he's going to pull this work, and the person, the employee whose work is it's going to have, and it's going to come on his dashboard. Okay, you have this work, you have 2 days, you have to submit it in 2 days, but it's recommended do it in 1 day, do it in 1.5 day. We're trying to encourage people, do it fast, do it better. So you're going to get more points, you might get more points. Our KPIs, mathematically, they encourage the person to do things more early so that they get more points, and at the end of the day they're going to have a better score. So once this happens, the task gets updated and stored from the database itself. From the manager side, he's going to update the task and the task list, if the task is completed or not, or something. Let's assume if there's a non-field staff employee, and he's updating the picture that okay, it's a construction company, I'm seeing this, okay, I upload a picture of what's happening on the field, and then I upload it on the database, and so the manager can see okay, the work's going good, the beam that had been planned for this week, it has been installed successfully. So both of the parties are happy. And after the task portal, we have our really important thing, the core center of this app, or I shall say our service, is the performance report. The performance report, as I said earlier, is based on the KPIs itself that have been derived both at an individual level, organizational level, and work level. Now the thing is, this performance report is going to have many things: comparison trees, graphs, and values, and it's going to be giving a clear and crystal idea of where the person really lacked in his whole year, where he needs to improve, what's the feedback for that person. Our KPIs do that really efficiently, and I'll show you later what's the math behind it. And after that, everything gets stored in the all the KPIs value is going to be stored in the KPI score calculator. This is the magic behind everything. All the math, all the logic, it's stored here. And our KPI score calculator, based on different summations and AP series, and also using some binomials, we are going to calculate the basic score of what that person is going to have, like 92 or 76. There's going to be a number. There are going to be normalization theorems, as there are different types of theorems for different types of workloads. For example, if we take error load, it's exponential function, and if we check basic attendance, it's a linear function. So if you're trying to compare both of them, you need to have a normalization theorem, or you need to have a normalization formula. So I've also kept that in mind and made everything flawlessly. Everything gets stored in the database and individually gets called when required from the front end in JSON format. So yeah, the tech stack that we're using is here. I'll show you the prototype. This is our prototype, the master slave type system. So I'll move towards the employee dashboard. It's just for demonstration purposes, and doesn't tells about the whole of the thing that's going to happen in the final round if we are there. So as I said about the scheduling of the events, we have this like this thing, like 15th October, 18th October. Okay, I have some client presentation here, I have some project milestone review, so I get a track of what I am doing. Okay, and the messages, okay, these are my teammates, these are my seniors, or anyone it can be, they can give me mails. Basically what we're trying to do is we are trying to mimic the e-office system. We have analyzed how e-office works, how after integration, how e-office is going to work, and we saw their system and we took inspiration from that, and from there only we have took this messages schedules. Basically we're trying to mimic a system, and with our own touch of KPIs, so that whole evaluation gets really easily. Now let's move towards the task thing, like the active task that you're going to have, the completed task. Now if something is overdue, it needs attention, it's marked as red, and what your team ranks in overall of the office, all of this gets stored here and shown here easily. Okay, if this task is completed, okay, it's marked completed, okay, done, right? If I have not started this task, the manager has assigned this task to me, I can just start this task, and the timer gets start of 3 hours. And I can also request clarification to the manager so that he she can send me a message or a mail regarding the clarification itself. Okay. So as I said, as I clicked on completed, the four got converted into one. And let's just come here. We can just start this task again. It's a 5 days. We can again request clarification and all. So now the thing comes of the dashboard, the thing that I was saying, the performance analytics. So this is the performance analytics that we come with, like how our team score is improving week by week on a weekly basis, as things in general office can't be measured in day-to-day basis. Many factors, but majorly of each one of them can be measured in the week factor. So the workload distribution between the employees, it is also shown very easily here. Same thing in a more better format, and how we have this deadline, so how projects are assigned to whom. We can see this very easily, and we can see, okay, these things need attention, this thing needs less attention, and automatically our front end basically figure out where to find more work, and how to do load distribution and resource allocation, as we are already as we are already mentioned. Now this is the attendance overview marker, like what's that attendance going to be, average attendance of the team, like okay, 31 was there, present was 30. So the using this we can take out an average of yearly how much this team was present, and then we can go towards individual KPIs. Okay, this person was too much present, 95% attendance, according to that he is going to get the score. And on the manager level, this is going to change a little bit. You have some things less. You have team health score, you have employee statistics, you have file turnaround ratio. It's a really important KPI that was mentioned in the work too. And then the same thing, a team tasks and attendance and meeting platforms. And for the heads, the board of directors or anyone, they get to see who is doing the best work, who is having highest performance, best efficiency, who is improving, and who is stably maintaining his position. Sorry. Now we have manager performance trends and team performance comparison, like how things are going to be compared between teams for the head. As you know, he's head of the managers itself. This is how we have done this. We have made this UI look really beautiful, so that it's really easily understandable for everyone. Now let's move towards the last of the points, the benefits and impacts, fair evaluation, real-time monitoring, skill growth, and smarter resource use. These are like really big benefits of this solution. And for the impacts, we have higher efficiency, we have stronger accountability, legal alignment, and continuous skill growth. So for the best part that we saw was the legal alignment part. What happened was, the with the previous APAR system, there was a really big line of legal tussles, which basically pointed out to the government that okay, there is an issue in the APAR based model, and that's why it might be the issue that today in the SIH this problem has come up basically. So we found out this, and we did a research on that part, and I'll be just sharing the research and references with you. Okay, let's go towards the research and reference part. Now, firstly, foremost, it was the performance management in government offices. The chairperson of this research was Sri K.M. Chandrasekhar. What basically we saw in this research was, firstly, was this part, like how things are happening in performance, like how are you going to calculate performance, how results come, how things happen in office. So we saw this and we came to understand, okay, this is how closed office system might work, and this is how things happen basically on a formal level. So we got a idea of, okay, this is how we're going to solve things. Then we came around with the coordination and instrumental support part, and the incentive part, and most of the every daily part that basically comes up with the promotion and the other things that are the ultimate finale of this service that we're trying to build. Basically, the top level employees, they're going to get promoted, they might get promotion. So for that, we have also made sure that our KPIs, if a person is really doing hard work, our KPIs push them really good, and they get what they deserve as a score, and so that they get their promotion very easily. Also, with the second one I'll show, it was a study on the employee performance evaluation based on adaptive feature selection fuzzy algorithm. So it was a Chinese research paper. It basically came up with the maths, like how you're going to do this. It was a really great paper, basically told us like, okay, how you're going to use the factorials, or how you're going to use the permutations and the matrices, and basically all the summation systems of calculating it. We have our own KPI table which we can't reveal right now. uh, and this was the thing that, okay, how you're going to set the data types, how you're going to basically embed it in code with logic so that it can be easily called. this was the this is the real meat of this service that we're trying to build. And it was a really great paper, and yes, this was the thing which told us about the information system, like how things are going to happen. Okay, it's a start, then we have user login, then we have to add user, then there is employee, we're going to read employee information, then we're going to configure permission based on the titles, and then things happen. Okay, how maths work behind all of this. We did it really inspired our maths to a really great extent, and we got to know about, okay, this is the thing we're doing. And then we have measurements of workplace productivity in the office context. Okay, so this the thing was, we are really in a tussle of how we are going to manage productivity basically. And as this is a really big issue within the government departments, how we are going to really bring a change or bring a true solution. So this paper really helped us to get a grasp of what we can do. So this is the paper by B Bortoluzzi and D Carey and J McArthur and C Manessa. Basically, what they did in Canada was they presented a comprehensive survey of workplace productivity using key KPIs, key performance indicators that we are using ourselves. We shared some of the key performance indicators. We made our own key performance indicators, and we use the key performance indicators as directed by the problem statement itself. So it's a really big and better combination of different things. Then let's move towards how these KPIs used to work. Basically, the types of KPIs were listed here. We got to know that, okay, although we are working with numbers, we need to have a value of how quantitative and qualitative both of them are going to get worked. And there is a third type also, that is the mixed KPI. As there are different value sets which we get in character form, and different value sets we get in quantitative and qualitative form. How we're going to manage them and how we're going to place them to make a balanced system. This was a challenge that we solved, and this research paper really helped us with the things. And last but not the least, the legal tussle that I said, it was a really eye opener when we were trying to research about this topic. What happened was, with the previous cases, in Crux, I would like to say the APAR system had a lot of loopholes, which were getting used by the bigger ups in the organization to bully the lower the lower employees as a whole. So the lower employees had put up a case on these guys, and they had a run for their money. These cases were really eye-opening, like how much disastrous our system is becoming, and how many loopholes they have once you go the legal route. So with this, we got the idea. Okay, we have to make our KPIs less and less vulnerable to loopholes, so that these things don't happen in future. And once we got the whole, like, okay, what the employee really wants is, he wants to know, like, where am I wrong in current time basis, in real time basis. That's what we provide. He didn't used to get that. He used to get that in a yearly report that could have many prejudice about the person itself. But now it's not the same case. So yeah, this was the thing with the other cases also. These were the cases, they were really popular cases. And these made sure that our system never remains same. And after that, I think it's because of this that today we're trying to find a new solution to this problem. So with this, I would like to wrap up this simple YouTube video where we discussed what our solution was and how we're going to fix it, how we as a team presented a better solution to this problem than the traditional ABBA model, and how we stand out better than everyone else. Thank you for having a nice listen.